Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Dutchmen interview series presented by M&T Bank here on the Albany Dutchmen YouTube page. I'm John Vicari, joined alongside a member of the 2017 Albany Dutchmen and a current University of Louisville Cardinal, left-hander Adam Ellliott. Adam, thanks for joining me here today.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do it.
So we talked pre-interview that you're playing in a collegiate baseball league with the Redbirds in Louisville. Has that been the situation throughout this quarantine, you living in Louisville and have been playing college baseball this summer, and how did that come about?
Yeah, for sure. I've been living in Louisville. I'm from Louisville, so I've been living in Louisville all summer. It's been a little weird, obviously, for the first few months. We didn't really know what we were going to do, but they got a pop-up league going in Louisville, and there's some Louisville guys in the league, so I got hooked up in it. I've probably been throwing it for about a month now, and we got the playoffs starting this week and then the championships tomorrow. So it's been nice. It's been a little different, a little weird, but it's nice to play baseball again. Absolutely,
and it's baseball in whatever form it is. It's glad that baseball is back. Obviously, this past collegiate season, you didn't get to complete it. I believe you played in about 8 games, but you told the Louisville report that the possibility, if there is eligibility for you, that you'd be willing to return to Louisville. Obviously, this past season was your senior season. So I was wondering if you know what your future plans are, in terms of the eligibility, if you're coming back, and if there is no eligibility, what your next step is, if you know at this point.
Yeah, so they're giving us the year back. After the draft and everything, I kind of had to make a decision whether I wanted to do free agency or come back to Louisville. I kind of realized that coming back was probably the best option for me because of the question marks with minor leagues and stuff. So I turned down some offers in free agency, and I decided to come back to Louisville for a 5th year, try to get myself in a situation where I can get drafted next year and kind of see how that works out. But being able to come back to Louisville and play baseball in the fall is kind of the biggest factor for me in trying to win a national championship.
Absolutely. And just to follow up, because Parker Nolan, who was at Vanderbilt, sort of let us know what Vanderbilt was thinking, and this was a month ago, in terms of what the school thought about the 2021 season. Have you heard any rumblings about Louisville's decision or anything along those lines?
No, we haven't heard much. I mean, right now it's kind of all up in the air, especially. I think it helps a little bit that the MLB is getting going. But I guess we're going to have to see how the fall goes with the fall sports and kind of play it by ear from there. But hopefully we can play a normal season, but who knows at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we'll go back to the Dutchmen and why you joined me on this interview. You were a member of the Dutchmen in 2017, and a lot of Twitter response. I know you engaged on Twitter when I interviewed J.J. Shimko and John Skidmore. And probably the best question in this whole interview series revolving the casino. But we have a couple – I want to circle back to that, but a couple of Twitter questions. The first one coming from John Skidmore, and he said, who was your favorite roommate and why was it John Skidmore? So I want to know – obviously, I guess it is John. If you think of somebody else, you could answer that, but just the memory you have living with him.
So I lived with the Stelts. They were great. I mean, obviously, they were awesome. Coach Stelts was one of the assistant coaches then. It was a great experience. I lived with John, and then I lived with Brad Knighting. He played at Rice. But they were both great. I mean, I love John, and I love both of them. So me and John had great times watching Entourage, and he kind of got me hooked on that show. So I had to give it to John, I guess. But Brad's up there. Don't worry.
Nice. Is there John and JJ talked about food stories. Do you have any food stories living in that house, or things going wrong or anything like that?
No, not in particular. We didn't cook much, but me and John always made some ham and cheese sandwiches up before games in the panini maker. So that was probably the biggest thing, especially before games.
There you go.
Yeah.
You mentioned Coach Stilts, another coach who weighed in on Twitter, Coach Bill Barrel, and he said, why would you never want to play against your third base coach in golf? Embarrassed to get strokes from him. So now I want to know, you're a handicapped golfer, and why you never challenged him in golf.
Yeah, so I guess it was a big thing going in there. I played a lot of golf, and he was always joking with me we should have played. We definitely should have played. I don't know why we didn't, looking back on it. But I played a little bit of golf up in Albany when I got the chance. But, yeah, we never played. I'm usually around like a 3 or 4 handicap. I've been playing a lot since quarantine started. But if I ever see Billy get around to get around a golf in, for sure.
I think that tweet was less of a question and more of a challenge. So
yeah, sure. He was always challenging me. Yes. I'm surprised we never got to play.
Yep. I gave you the question that John asked, but he mentioned the casino, and you sort of buried both JJ and John about losing a lot of money at the casino. I was wondering if you have a casino story, or if you lost a lot of money or won a lot of money. Obviously, you talked a big game, so I'm thinking you didn't lose as much as JJ and John did in their time in Albany.
Yeah, well, so I didn't play with JJ. He lived with John the year before me at the Stelz's. I got to meet him one time up there, but John always wanted to go to casino. He's from Texas, and I don't know why, but he loved the casino. So he kind of got me hooked on that. We probably went, I forgot where we would play, but we would go up there on the way back. We'd always stop at the casino. We probably went 9 or 10 times, it felt like. And then the best story is probably going up to the horse track when the races started. We went up there twice, and that was always a great experience. I'm being from Louisville, got Churchill down, so I've always wanted to see the horses, and it was nice betting on horses. It never usually went well, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably down a little bit in my history up at Saratoga, but it's all right. It was a good time always. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been to Saratoga first time because I have Belmont down where I'm from in Queens. And then a follow-up, have you been to the Kentucky Derby down at I'm guessing you have as a Louisville resident, but you know.
Well, I've actually never been to the Derby. It seems like I've always been playing baseball either on that day or that weekend, especially in college. We're always traveling because our field's right across the street from Churchill Downs, so we can't really have any games that weekend because it's always so packed. But in high school, I used to go to the Oaks all the time, which is the day before the Derby. It's the Philly races. So we just go to those. But I feel like I don't think I've ever actually gone to the Derby. Actually, I went once. I take that back. I went once in like 8th grade before I started playing high school baseball. Because even high school baseball, we would play on that Saturday for some reason. So I never really got to go to the Derby. But I have been a few times actually when I was younger. But I don't really remember when I get to bet. So.
Yeah, because I know the Belmont Stakes is sort of a mix of resident and tourist, but I would figure the Derby is, something that Kentuckians take pride in. So just wanted to ask about that. Now a quick lightning round, a mix of Dutchman stuff with also, this quarantine life that we're all living. First question out of the box, what's your favorite Dutchman memory? And we've gone a lot like off the field, so I was wondering if you have an in-game memory or a practice memory or something along those lines.
Yeah, so it was our last game of the regular season. We were playing, I think, Diamond Dogs, if I'm correct. And it was kind of one of those games that didn't mean anything, so we kind of like played it off to where I think the pitcher had to throw a fastball first pitch every time. If you didn't swing at a first pitch fastball strike, you had a bunt, you had to get out. So the game lasted like an hour and a half. But it ended up there was a fly ball to shortstop. I was on second. I ended up tagging the third on the fly ball to shortstop. It got thrown out by like 30 feet, so that was probably the best experience.
Absolutely. Making it out of third in a game that doesn't matter. You'll take it. So, Yep. So now in terms of quarantine, I want to know, because I've asked this to everybody else, your go-to in terms of movie, TV show, video game. What were you doing in those months that we were confined to our houses? What'd you do to entertain yourself besides staying in baseball?
Yeah, so actually I mentioned it earlier. John got me hooked on Entourage back in that, I guess, 3 summers ago, and I've been watching that nonstop. I keep going through and keep starting back over. So it's probably my favorite show of all time now. So that's been the main thing I've been doing.
The lasting impression there. So
yeah, for sure. That's why I got to give him the roommate nod, I guess.
There you go. In terms of goes along with that, your go-to food, maybe a midnight snack, just something that you eat while you're watching Entourage.
Yeah, so I get this. It's this chocolate, and it's this white chocolate popcorn I get all the time. And I love it. So that's the main thing I guess I eat when I'm watching stuff.
Okay. All right. Now a baseball question away from college and summer collegiate. As of right now, there's still MLB baseball happening. So I want to know your MVP prediction, your World Series prediction, and your Rookie of the Year prediction, as well as Cy Young, since you are a pitcher, if you're willing to divulge any of that. Not sure what your favorite team is, but you can also share that as well.
Yeah, I'm a Reds fan, so NL I gotta go with the Reds. I like Votto for MVP because it's Votto. Why not, right? What else you got? Rookie of the Year. I had in the NL I would have had Gavin Lux. He's not on the 30-man right now, so I don't know who else I go with. Brendan McKay. He played at Louisville. He's a stud, so he can be up there. And then I had what's the World Series? So I probably got Dodgers, Yankees. That's probably seems like the go-to, and the Dodgers are always great. And you got Stanton hitting 500-foot home runs, so I'll probably got to go with them for right now.
Yeah, I'm a Yankee fan. I'll be honest. I want to see the Reds more than the Dodgers. If the Yankees.
Yeah, I'd love for the Reds to be there, but who knows?
They have a great roster though. But
yeah, bullpen's a little tough start to the year, so we'll see how that goes.
And at this point, I think they're 1-2.
Yeah, they lost 2 to the Tigers, so it's never good.
There you go. There you go. All right, Adam. Thanks for sitting down with me. This was a fun interview, and it was good to sort of go back to a couple weeks ago where I interviewed John Skidmore and
Yeah,
get to know you and relive some of those stories. So thanks for taking some time out of your day and really your collegiate summer baseball season that we found out to sit down and let
yeah,
me.
for sure. Yeah, it was good talking.